we did the Ark Ultimate Survivor Edition for Switch a couple years ago. And then most recently, we've worked on Survival Ascended, helping out with all the technical challenges, bringing that to consoles. And so now we've taken, all of our learnings from working on Ark all these years and all these optimization tricks that we've figured out, and we're using that to bring Ark to mobile devices with a much more console-like experience. So that's what you're seeing here now. Let me give you the caveat. This is pre-release footage. You're seeing, in development beta footage right now. And we're going to take you through some stuff on the island and on Scorched Earth and on Aberration. So let's kick things off. I got a bunch of stuff to get through for you guys and let you know all about this game that we've got coming out. So first things first, a big question that we've been asked, this game is going to be free to play. There is no cost to purchase the game outright. Anybody can download it for free on your mobile devices. And this is coming out to y'all in December 2024, this year. So just another month and a half to go, and you should have this in your hands. In this game, what I really want to hammer home today is that this is a complete fresh start. This is not related to the old Ark mobile title. This is much closer to that classic Ark experience that you know from consoles. So if you've played Ark on Switch or you've played Ark on PS4 or Xbox One, this is going to be much more comparable to that full Ark experience. This isn't going to be like the old Ark mobile title. We don't have dungeons, we don't have pursuits, we don't have a lot of these more unique things that we did in that title. We're staying very true to the original Ark experience here. And so in that regard, I really want to emphasize again, this is a complete fresh start. No progress or purchases from that old title is going to carry forward. This is a brand new experience. As you can see, just looking at it visually right now, I mean, it's just miles ahead of where we're at with that old game. So at launch in December, we are going to have the Island and Scorched Earth and Aberration available. Then next year in 2025, we will get out Extinction, Gen 1, Gen 2, and Ragnarok. And when we launch in December, the Island is going to be free for all players. So like I said, it's a free-to-play game. You can download it. You can have pretty much the full entire island experience without ever spending a dime if you so choose. You can do the boss fights, you can transfer to other servers, you can do cave runs, you can do all that. You'll never have to spend a dime. We're going to have the expansion maps. Those will be available for purchase individually. So Aberration, Extinction, Gen 1, Gen 2, Scorched, those are all going to be individual purchases if you would like to play on those maps. But beyond that, we're also offering a subscription this time around as well. So similar to Primal Pass in the last title, we've got something called Ark Pass. And Ark Pass is going to give you access to all the maps that are released at that point. And it's also going to give you access to God Console for single player and other perks like bonus XP and a monthly drop of some free keys, which I'll get to in a minute here. So that's really going to be a great value for you if you want to just pick up that pass while you're actively playing Ark. That's going to give you pretty much everything that you need to fully enjoy everything that the game has to offer. Like I said, though, if you're free to play, all the content is still there. We don't have things like dinos or anything locked behind a paywall. Players are going to be able to use our in-game currency. That's called keys. And really what this is set up for is just to kind of make the game more convenient for you, especially because we're dealing with mobile audiences. You don't necessarily have as much free time on your hands. So the keys are going to be used to do things like decrease certain timers, like, less time to tame a creature, or other things like a temporary weight buff. Stuff like that is how the keys are used. And these keys, all players can get a couple for free every day, so you'll have access to get keys for free. And then, of course, you can purchase packs of them if you so desire, just like any other in-game currency. Again, very comparable to what we were doing with Ancient Amber in the previous one. Again, really just want to hammer home, all of our implementation of the keys is on these convenience timers and thing like that I just touched on. We're not selling creatures or weapons or maps for keys. That's not a thing. So let's keep going here. We've also got God Console making its comeback for single player this time around. So if you're familiar with God Console from the last Arc Mobile title, it's going to be comparable to that, except this time around we've added console command access to it. So what God Console is it's an interface you can use in single player only. This is not for use on official servers. And what this does is it's an interface that gives you easy access to spawning in resources, a lot of the common cheats that you'll use frequently, like level up target or things like that. And so it's an interface that swipes in from the side of the screen to give you easy access to that stuff. And then if you want to go in the full breadth of console commands and everything that Arc has to offer, there's now just a straight up console command input box in that interface for you to use. So yeah, one sec here. Let me. So over here on screen, as you're seeing, Daniel and Nat here are about to go to a boss fight on the island. As you know, boss fights, we did not have the traditional boss fights in the last Arc Mobile title. This time around, you're getting the full suite of boss fights again. It's just like the normal console experience. You got Brood Mother, you got Gorilla Boss, you got the Dragon. Yeah, and so like I said, full Arc experience. This is not hindered in any way. We didn't cut any content this time around. And some things that we've got a little extra is voice chat support. We didn't have that in the last Arc Mobile title, but we've got full voice chat support working this time around. We've also got full controller support. So here I've actually got my setup that I like doing around the office with Xbox controller, a little stand, and then this is a Pixel 8a that runs the game great. But yeah, we've got full controller support. You can use just about any Bluetooth controller with standard inputs, should work fine. And then we've also done the virtual cursor implementation. So if you've played our version of Arc on Switch, or if you've played Survival Ascended on PS5 or Series X, or even PC with a controller connected, you'll know that you can use one of the joysticks to navigate a virtual cursor around the screen when you're managing your inventory and stuff like that. And we've brought that over to this version as well, if you're using a controller with the game. Obviously, if you don't have a controller pad, you're just using touch, then that's irrelevant. Some other things we've done is we brought over some of the cryopod balance changes from ASA into our port here. We liked what some of those changes were. They seemed like a good thing for the PvP community, so we brought those changes over. And then we also may have a fun surprise or two in there for fans of the old Arc Mobile game who did like some of the unique things we did in there. We're going to try and get some fun stuff going in the new title, but I don't want to spoil anything just yet. How's that boss fight going, guys?
Going pretty good. Also,
so we're going to show you all some Scorched Earth. Yeah, we're going to switch over to Scorched in just a minute here and show you all some footage of Scorched running on these mobile devices. And while we get to that, I'm going to talk to y'all about some device requirements, because this is another big question that we've gotten a lot, is what devices can actually run this new game. I mean, as you can see, it's pretty graphically intensive, and you are going to need a newer device that can handle running this game. On the iOS side of things, that means any device that runs iOS 18. So you probably already know if your device can run it at this point, because iOS 18 has been released for iOS devices. But if you need to look that up, you can just Google iOS 18. Apple's got an article and a nice graphic that shows a list of all the iPhones and iPads that can update to iOS 18. And if your phone can handle it, it can install iOS 18, then you can run this game. Older iOS devices are not going to be able to run it. The one sort of caveat I want to throw in there is at the lower end of that iOS 18 support, the iPhone XR is going to struggle a bit running this game. That has only 3 gigabytes of RAM in it, and you'll be able to boot it, but it's just not going to be the best experience. So, little caveat there for the people out there that are still using an iPhone XR. If you plan on playing this game, you might want to think about an upgrade, or hey, download it and see what happens. And then over on the Android side of things, this is where it gets really fun. You know, Android's the wild west of different mixes of RAM and CPU and GPU. But for the most part, any modern new flagship Android device is going to do just fine running this game. For sure, you are going to need to be able to run a recent version of Android. So if your phone has stopped updating and getting Android OS updates, that may be a sign that you might have trouble running it. And you're definitely going to need 4 gigabytes of RAM. Fortunately, a lot of the Android devices coming out now have 4 gigabytes, no problem, but that's certainly going to be a requirement. We are still finding certain GPUs here and there, especially on some of the cheaper phones that are struggling to run the game. So it's hard to give you all a definitive list. I can definitely tell you just out of personal experience and devices we've been trying around here in the office. We've got screen switched off here, but we've got it running on the this is the Motorola Z Fold. So that will run the game just fine. The newer Motorola phones do good with it. This right here is the OnePlus 12R. Also doing just fine running the game. I've got the game here, like I said, on a Pixel 8a, which is just like the cheap version of a Pixel, and that runs it just great. So we've also, Daniel over here is playing on the Samsung S20 Galaxy, or sorry, now you're on the iPad. Previously was on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, and that runs it great. So some of you who had issues with newer Samsung Galaxy devices playing the old Arc Mobile title, that is no longer an issue. You should be fine there. But again, it's free to play, so please, by all means, download it on your phone and make sure it runs great. You know, and if not, hey, this is what it is. So, players, you guys are going to have this game in your hands by Christmas. We don't have an exact date picked out yet. We will announce that as soon as we're ready to, but we're definitely planning on December and definitely planning on getting it out to y'all before Christmas. If you are on iOS, you can download this from the App Store anywhere in the world. It's going to be released on the App Store worldwide. If you live in Europe, you can also choose to download this from the Epic Games Store. Some of you saw the news. We're very happy to be one of the first third-party games launching on the Epic Games Store for mobile. We think it's a really cool thing what they're doing, and we're happy to support them. So we're going to be offering the game everywhere that the Epic Games Store is available. If you're on Android, you can download the game worldwide from Google Play or the Epic Games Store. Both are available worldwide. You have your choice of where you want to play. Of course, you know, if you like what Epic Games Store is doing for developers, they're a bit more forward-thinking with their relations with developers, and we certainly appreciate that. But, you know, the choice is up to y'all. And that is pretty much all of the concrete facts that we have to get through for ARC. I'm going to recap everything for y'all, maybe run back through it one more time for anyone who was tuning into the stream a little late. And you all can continue enjoying some Scorched Earth gameplay here. And then in a little bit after this fight, we'll move on to showing you some Aberration. So again, let's just run back through this and recap some of the key points here that we want to hammer home with you guys. So again, the title is free to play. The expansion maps will be offered for purchase, but the island is completely free. We are releasing the game in December 2024, so really not long to go at all here. And this is a complete fresh start from the old Arc Mobile title. That old title will remain available forever for those who have already downloaded it, so it's still there, but yes, Arc Ultimate Mobile Edition will be the only title you'll find on mobile stores going forward, and this is our new baby. Nothing from the old game is going to carry forward to this title. At launch in December, we're going to have the Island and Scorched and Aberration available for you all, and Extinction, Gen 1, Gen 2, and Ragnarok are coming next year. We're going to be offering the expansion maps for sale individually, or you can pick up the Arc Pass subscription either monthly or annually, and that, while you have an active subscription, is going to give you access to all of the maps that are currently released. It's going to give you the God Console and single player. It's going to give you other perks like bonus XP, and then you're going to get free keys, our in-game currency, every single month, just from being a pass holder. Yeah, and then device requirements one more time. On iOS, you're going to need iOS 18 at minimum to run this game. And again, the iPhone XRs are one little caveat that won't handle it too well on iOS 18, but every other device runs it great. Daniel's playing here on a brand new iPad with the M4 chip in it. I think personally this is one of the best devices you can see this game played on. It is amazing that it feels like you're playing a PS4 in the palm of your hands. It's crazy. Again, some of the new stuff we've got this time around that we've added in is voice chat support, full controller support using that virtual cursor, some of those file pod changes from Survival Ascended, and then maybe some more fun surprises. So with that, I'm gonna shut up for a minute and let y'all enjoy some Scorched Earth gameplay here. How's the boss fight going?
It's good. Just completed it.
Shall we switch over and show these fine folks some Aberration footage?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Gonna...
We're gonna get some Aberration going for y'all next.
Only Android?
Yeah. So excuse our little transition here. So we're really excited to be able to bring our Ultimate Mobile Edition to y'all. I know that our Arc Mobile players out there have been waiting so patiently as we've been working on this new title and had to wind down support for the old title. So yeah, we're just really excited to bring this to y'all. I think everybody's really going to enjoy it. And we use some Aberration here in just a sec. And then that will wrap things up for us today. We're going to have all of this information in a blog post for you all next week. So if you're worried that you missed anything, we will lay it all out in clear, plain English in a blog post. If you follow our socials, we're still using the same socials, Play Arc Mobile. So you can find us on Twitter or X. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook and on YouTube, all with that Play Arc Mobile handle. And if you want to join our Discord, that's also the invite link is discord.gg/playarcmobile, and that'll get you into the Discord for Arc Mobile, which already has a great, huge community that we've built up from the old title, and we're going to keep that going.
Aberration ready?
Aberration, yeah. So here we've got Daniel showing y'all some Aberration, so we're going to kick this off. I know this is a fan favorite map, and y'all probably can't wait to get your hands on this on mobile devices. This will be yours upon release in December. It'll be available. So now, one more time, while Daniel's showing off Aberration, I'll just run through some of our bullet points again. Maybe you chimed into the stream late. You want to make sure you heard something I said earlier correct. Let's just run through it again and make sure everyone's got the facts down, right? So this is going to be a free-to-play title. It does not cost money out the gate. Everybody can get the island absolutely for free. And then our expansion maps will be an additional purchase. At launch, we're going to have the islands, Scorched, and Aberration. Come next year in 2025, we'll have Extinction, Gen 1, Gen 2, and Ragnarok. This game is a complete fresh start from the old game. Nothing from the old Arc Mobile title is going to carry forward. And that's because, as you can see, this is just an entirely different game than from what that was. We don't have the pursuits anymore. We don't have the dungeons anymore. We are just giving you the tried and true Arc experience from consoles. If you've played Arc on Switch, if you've played it on PS4, on Xbox One, this is going to be that same experience that you're used to from there, just now on a screen that you can hold in your hands. We will, like I said, we'll have those expansion maps available for an additional purchase, or you can pick up the Arc Pass, which is going to be a subscription. That Arc Pass is going to give you access to all of the expansion maps that have been released at that point, as well as access to the God console for single player, and some other perks such as bonus XP and some free keys, which is our in-game currency. So that in-game currency, which we're calling keys, every player can get some of these for free every day, kind of like a daily login bonus thing, or you'll be able to purchase them in packs or get your monthly free drops from being a pass holder. And again, our implementation of these keys is really just with the mobile audience in mind and just being able to use them to make things a bit more convenient. We love to use the term pay for convenience around here. And so the implementation in the game is things like decreasing tame timers, tame speed timers, or getting a temporary weight buff, things like that. We're not selling creatures or weapons locked behind keys. We're not doing the crafting stations like the old game had. By and large, this is the normal Arc experience. And so I mentioned this earlier, but God console is coming back for single player. So those of our single player players may remember this from the previous title. God console is an interface that you can pick up, and what we've done with this interface is giving you easy access to a lot of the common cheats that players use, as well as a lot of the common resources that you're spawning stacks of constantly. And this time around, the interface also gives you access to the console commands. So if you don't want to use any of our predetermined cheats that we've easily listed for you, you can just open up the console command dialog and go to town with whatever the game will let you. And this time around, again, we've added voice chat support. So you've got full voice chat support on mobile. We've got full controller support out the gate on mobile. We've got some cryopod changes that we brought over from ASA, and we've got a few other fun surprises in there. And just to touch on the device requirements again, iOS 18, that is crucial. If you're on an iOS device, an iPhone or an iPad, you need one that can run iOS 18. If you're on Android, you need a device that can run a recent version of Android. It's got to have 4 gigabytes of RAM at minimum. As long as it's a recent flagship phone, again, you should be fine. But due to just all the various combinations of Android devices out there, it's really hard for us to give just a solid list. And so again, this will be out for Christmas. If you are on iOS, you can download it anywhere in the world from the App Store. If you're on iOS in Europe, you also have the choice of downloading from Epic Game Store. And if you're on Android, anywhere in the world, you can download it from Google Play or the Epic Game Store. So that's it, folks. December 2024, free to play, iOS and Android, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Apple App Store, all 5 expansion maps, entirely fresh experience. We really can't wait to get it into your hands all. So thanks everybody so much for checking out the stream. And with that, I think we're going to throw things back to Studio Wildcard. So thanks everybody. Cheers. Yeah, minimize that and give them the full screen until Wildcard takes it back.
Mic's on.